Welcome to Secrets of the Stars, where we explore the ancient knowledge of astrology, decode your unique blueprint, and unveil how the wisdom of the sky contributes to your life. I'm your host, Abby Lutus, astrologer, mentor, and sky guide. It's time to embark on a cosmic adventure of self-discovery and understanding why you are the way you are. Let's dive in. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Secrets of the Stars. And I'm so excited to be back in here with another episode for you. I hope you have been enjoying the video version I have been creating, and let me know if you have been tuning in on YouTube. I would love to know drop a comment. Let me know how it's all landing for you. Today, I wanted to talk about the astrology of 2025, and I want to touch on the top 3 things that I think are most important for you to understand as we move into 2025. But not only there is so much happening in 2025, I will say that. I want to show you how you can understand how this energy is going to impact you on a more personal note. So I'm going to be covering off what I believe are the top 3 things to be looking out for in 2025 when it comes to the astrology. Now, as I mentioned, there is so much going on in 2025. So covering all of it was probably going to be a couple of hours episode. So we'll stick with the top 3 things and then just understanding how it's going to play out for you. So let's jump in. And to begin with, I just wanted to give you this general overview of what 2025 astrology is all about. And I really believe that it's this shifting from yin energy to yang energy. Now, I could say from feminine to masculine, I could say from negative to positive. These words are just polarities, and I'm very particular about these words that I choose because despite how much we try to make them mean something else, I think if you put certain words down, they mean certain things even in our subconscious. So this energy is about moving from yin to yang. It's a shifting of energies. It's a transition year because there are a lot of outer planets moving signs, and they're moving from the yin energy signs to the yang energy signs. And this is really signifying this move towards assertiveness, action, expression, and encouraging a more proactive approach to the challenges that we're facing. You see, it's such a different energy as I was speaking to someone and explaining, why I'm not saying that it's moving from feminine to masculine energies, because it's so easy to identify with one of those energies more than the other. So the other thing that this year brings is this empowerment and independence. So this shift is about empowering individuals to embrace their personal power, to foster their own independence and take initiative in pursuing their own goals, and reflecting on a collective push towards self-assertion and leadership. So really owning the work that you are doing and stepping into leading yourself. My mentor always says, I lead and the universe follows. And that's such a beautiful expression for this point that I am talking about. And thirdly, this year is about balancing this nurturing energy with the action energy. So as these planets are moving and transiting through these signs, there is a call to integrate the nurturing qualities with the action qualities. So this is a blend of intuition, care with courage, and creating change so that we can drive forward and push forward in what we are trying to do in our lives. So that's a bit of an overview. And now I'm going to talk to the 3 things that I think are pretty pivotal in this year. Now, as I said, there are so many things going on, but these are the major talking points from my perspective. And the first is that Neptune and Saturn are both moving into Aries. So I'm kind of going to break this down a little bit. I'll talk about Neptune, and then I'll talk about Saturn, and then I'll talk about the both of them together. So Neptune is the planet of creativity, of spirituality. It's connected to mental health. It's connected to the ocean. It's connected to illusions, escapism, and addictions as well. So on the 20th of March, Neptune will shift into Aries. Now, the significance of this is that Neptune only changes signs every 14 years. So this is a pretty big deal. And it's moving into Aries, which is the very first sign of the zodiac. So the themes around this energy is about dreaming of new beginnings. Neptune in Aries is really inspiring a visionary approach to our personal identity and really pioneering new spiritual and creative paths for ourselves, which blend creativity and imagination with action to step forward and actually make the changes. Essentially, I'm saying this is like spiritual warrior energy because this transit is awakening a desire to fight for the things that we want, to encourage ourselves as individuals to pursue our dreams with courage and aligned action for, towards the higher purpose, the higher things that we want for ourselves. This transit is also about potentially the disillusionment of our ego because Neptune is the planet that dissolves things and Aries is the sign and the energies of our ego. Neptune's influence in Aries could dissolve this illusion of independence, revealing a deeper, more interconnected nature of ourselves and pushing for a balance between our personal self-interest and the collective vision, which I think is a really great thing rather than being so focused on the collective or so focused on ourself. We're going to be trying to create this blended vision to move forward. So this is pretty massive energy, a massive shift that is happening. Then on the 23rd of May, Saturn will shift into Aries also. Saturn's transit is a 3-year transit through the sign. So every 3 years, Saturn will shift. And I always like to say Saturn is the planet that is going to teach us lessons. And where in your chart are you going to be learning a lesson? I'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the second half of the podcast. But Saturn's shift into Aries is really about, if we think of Saturn as the planet that is about boundaries, foundations, lessons, and even challenge, moving into Aries, which is the very first sign of the zodiac. And I will say Saturn is in fall in Aries. And so this means Saturn doesn't have all the tools available to express at its best energy. So at best, this could be quite challenging. So this energy with Saturn moving into Aries is really about building some bold foundations for ourselves. This energy is about constructing new pathways and focusing on interdependence, on leadership and taking those bold steps forward. I talk about these bold steps forward because this is the energy of Aries. But when Saturn comes in here, Saturn is the planet that wants to create long-lasting structure. So it's not just the actions that we're taking now, it's the actions that we're taking for the long term, essentially. Saturn in Aries could see challenges to our assertiveness. So Saturn is a restrictive planet, and its influence in this fiery energy of Aries might be testing our impulsivity, and it could be it's going to want us to have discipline and not be so reckless. And, one of the energies of Aries, I say, is that ready, fire, aim. It's about kind of going before you're ready. But Saturn is the opposite to that. So you can see how these energies can be in conflict. So we might see this this wanting to move forward, but really understanding that we need to have patience when it comes to pursuing our goals. And Saturn in Aries is going to help us having courage and responsibility. So it's about taking responsibility for our personal growth and pushing ourselves to face our fears head on, interestingly, head on, because Aries represents the head. And develop resilience through self-reliance. So the reason I'm talking about this, this self-leadership is because that's what Aries is about. It's about the self. It's the first sign of the zodiac. And so having this courage and resilience to the things that we are wanting for ourselves and taking leadership and ownership around all of that. Now, because these two planets, Saturn and Neptune, are both moving into Aries, and I will add that these planets will retrograde back into Pisces before the end of the year. So we're just getting a glimpse of this energy before it becomes complete in 2026. But with both of these energies of these planets shifting into Aries, we're going to see a Saturn-Neptune conjunction. Now, this energy won't be exact until 2026, but it comes very close in 2025. So if at all we feel this energy, which I'm guessing we definitely will, I feel like it's already showing up. We will be feeling the peak of it in June, July, and August. So when Saturn and Neptune come together, this only happens every 36, 37 years. So it's quite a rare alignment. And it's about reality, which is Saturn, meeting idealism. All right. So this conjunction is blending the structure and the dream. So it's urging us to create realistic plans that align with our higher aspirations and spiritual goals. And it's asking us to have discipline when it comes to creativity and the imagination, because that's what Neptune is all about. So being able to really ground in our creativity, in our artistic talents, in our spiritual visions, and create tangible outcomes for what we really want with what are doing with all of these tools of Neptune. That's what Saturn wants us to do. It wants us to ground, make a solid foundation, and move forward with the boundaries to do so. And this transit's all about really transformative responsibility. So it's about the importance of taking responsibility for our personal beliefs and ideals, and also challenging us to confront illusions or things that might be foggy, that might be fear, not fear, but maybe we're not facing our fears, all right? Because ultimately, this will help us to grow and change. So it's about facing those things that might not be completely clear. So as I mentioned, that energy is not going to be fully peaking until 2026, but I think we're going to feel it here in 2025. So that is a lot already happening in the first part of the year. And a lot of this energy and these shifts are occurring in the first part of the year. And the second one, or the second point I want to talk about, is that Jupiter is moving into Cancer. Now, this is a really lovely transit. When I talk about the energies of a year, I really love looking at Jupiter because Jupiter is the greater benefic. It is all about abundance, growth, expansion, opportunities. It's a beautiful planet, let me tell you. Now, I think we can gain equally from Saturn, which is here to teach us lessons, but it's just so nice to understand where Jupiter is going to be moving in our charts and in our lives. So Jupiter is moving into Cancer, and this is a great position for Jupiter to be moving into. It's moving out of Gemini, which it's a sign that doesn't like to be in, and into Cancer, which it is in exaltation. So this is like, I like to describe this as, it's like being at a friend's house and being showered with gifts. It's in a great place, all right? So what does this mean? So Jupiter in Cancer is about the expansion of our emotional wisdom. So it's really amplifying emotional intelligence and intuition, which we are really going to need at this time. When I share my third point, you'll understand why. It's about fostering our own growth through nurturing ourselves, nurturing our communities, nurturing our connections, and nurturing our home environment and making it our sanctuary, essentially. So it's this beautiful space where we can thrive from. Now, Jupiter in Cancer is also about fostering abundance through care. All right. We don't really hear too much about this word care, but it is so important when we are doing our work in the world, whatever it is that may be. So, this transit of Jupiter moving through Cancer is really promoting this prosperity and abundance by embracing compassion and embracing this emotional security and making it a powerful time to really cultivate these nurturing environments and nurturing spaces around ourselves. And thirdly, it's about nurturing growth. So, with Jupiter being so expansive in this energy of Cancer, which is all about nurturing in the home and our intuition and the care element, there is a focus on personal growth by caring for yourself and by caring for others. So it's about enhancing this emotional fulfillment and really creating a sense of belonging and really focusing your energies on, really deeply caring and nurturing for yourself and the people in your lives. So then we see Uranus move into Gemini. Okay, so this happens on the 1st of July and another outer planet shift. Uranus only changes signs every 7 years. So again, this is big energy. The fact that all of these outer planets, now we just saw Pluto change signs from Capricorn into Aquarius in 2024. And now we see Neptune, Saturn, Uranus as well. Jupiter shifts sign every year, so that's not a surprise. But the fact that they're all happening in this very same time frame, in this effectively it's a 12-month time frame, is just so rare. And so that's why there is this really big shift in energy. So Uranus moving into Gemini is all about revolutionizing communication. And I think you can all agree that we are starting to see this already happen, but things are going to move really quickly when Uranus moves into Gemini. So Uranus in Gemini is about sparking this innovation, how we connect, how we exchange ideas, and having breakthrough technology to do so. Now, we're already seeing that in the space with AI coming on board and all these new technologies starting up. So this is already starting to come online. This transit's also about radical thinking. Uranus is the change maker and it is expect the unexpected type energy. And then Gemini is the energy of making things happen really fast. And it is an air energy. So that's why this radical thinking piece is key. So it's about challenging traditional ways of thinking and encouraging an unconventional perspective and mental flexibility, and as well as this idea of rebelling intellectually, because, we can't make change and move towards a better future if we just continue in the same way. We have to have the thought leaders and that new level, and that's what this energy is bringing. And this transit could also bring in some disruptions in travel and in networks. And when I say networks, I mean social networks as well as our community networks. So Uranus in Gemini is the unexpected changes in transport, local communities, and social networks. So, but then in turn, it creates opportunities for new forms of movement and new types of collaboration. So it wouldn't be surprising if we see maybe a new social media platform come online. We're already seeing this radical technology being advanced and where we're seeing space travel, we're seeing these drones that are going to be ultimately turning into taxis and self-driving cars and all this crazy things that are happening. And I think it's going to move quite a lot faster and than we have been doing so far. So all of this stuff, this energy is going to be starting to come online. So they're the big three things that I wanted to talk about. And as you can see, they're all happening in the first half of the year. So it's a lot. There is big changes. So you want to be making sure that you understanding what this means for you and how it might play out in your life. Because here I'm just talking about in general terms, in general themes. And it's the interpretation of this energy is what I'm offering you. But knowing where this is going to happen in your personal chart is really what matters for you personally, because knowing the personal impact of these shifts is so important, because then you understand where in your life things are going to be happening and if it's even really going to be impacting you so much. Planets have very powerful energies, and certain planets are much more influential in your life at certain times. We can look to things like the chart ruler. My chart ruler is Saturn. So I know that I always want to have one finger on the pulse of what is going on with Saturn, because that has an underlying theme in my life. You also want to know who your Time Lord is. The Time Lord is an ancient technique which shows you the planet that is kind of like your VIP planet for the year, your birthday year. All right. So, for example, my Time Lord planet this year is the moon. So I know that I really want to be seeing what the moon is up to and where the eclipses are happening. And so some of these planet shifts might not have as big an influence on me personally as when I look at what the moon is doing. Now, looking at Time Lords, we can have a year Time Lord and a month Time Lord. So then we can see, okay, if my moon is the overall Time Lord for the year and maybe Uranus is my Time Lord for this month, then that is going to be important to understand what Uranus is doing. And it's also important to know where these planets are shifting in relation to points in your chart, because if they're going over points in your chart that are of high significance, it's probably going to have more of an impact on your life than if they are not moving over these points. And I'm going to pull up the chart in a minute and show you exactly what I mean here. So, general astrology forecasts are really helpful, but understanding personal astrology is key, because let's just say Jupiter in Cancer might bring growth and abundance into your life. But where is it bringing growth and abundance? That depends on your chart. And Uranus, as I said, being the rebel and known for change and shaking things up, yes, that can happen, but where is it going to be shaking up your relationships? Is it going to be shaking up your career? Is it going to be changing your health? Which area of your chart is it all playing out in? So this is why your birth chart really holds the key to all of this. So, how do you actually know where all these shifts are playing out in your life? Well, this is where the birth chart comes in. And it's really about understanding your chart as your personal map, because these planetary shifts are moving through specific areas of your life. But without knowing where they're moving, it's like trying to navigate a city without a GPS system, I suppose. So if you know that Jupiter is moving into your career, you might understand that there's going to be this expansion and opportunities and abundance coming in from that area of your life. Or if Aries is really strong in your chart, for example, if it's your rising sign, then having Saturn and Neptune moving into this area could have really big shifts, and it could lead you to take action, change your identity, and you can see how this really depends on your chart. Now, I want to show you a little example, because often people say to me, if I ask them, well, where do you have Aries? Where do you have Aries in your chart? And a lot of people say to me, well, I don't have Aries in my chart. And I can understand what they mean by that. They say, what they're really trying to say is that they don't have any planets in Aries. And here's an example of my chart. I also don't have any planets in Aries here, but Aries is ruling my fourth house. So I know that when planets are shifting into Aries, let's put the second chart on, Saturn, Neptune, or Chiron is also in there, then these energies are going to be playing out in my fourth house, which is all about my foundations, my family, my parents, my lineage, my home life. That's where things are going to be playing out. Likewise, I don't have any planets or points in Gemini. And this is where Uranus is going to be moving. And so when we put that second chart on, I know that Uranus is going to be playing out in the sixth house, which is all about the day to day of my life, my health, my wellness, and really how I serve other people. And I also want to show you the significance of if you have planets and points in a certain area of your chart. And let me just show you here. I have Venus here in the seventh house in Cancer. So I know that when Jupiter moves into Cancer, at some point through the transit, Jupiter is going to come and make a conjunction with my Venus energies here. So Jupiter making a conjunction with Venus is a very beautiful energy, and it's expanding my ability to relate and connect, and potentially in the area of relationships, significant one-to-one partnerships, friendships, relationships in my life. So that is how the planets can play out on a more specific basis, I suppose, in your personal chart. I want to talk now about the power of working with your personal astrology, because so often we can see astrology as just information, but I actually believe that it is a tool. And when we understand where these shifts are happening for you, and we start to stop and reflect and even prepare, we can really gain an understanding of what this energy might look like. It's about working with the energy rather than being caught off guard, because a lot of people might feel fearful about where planets are moving, but it's more about how we can use this energy to the best and highest of our abilities, how you can work with it, and in turn, maybe turn around challenging lessons that might be coming up. So I want to talk about some offers that I have where I can show you how to do all this. Because if you want clarity on how 2025's energy is going to unfold for you, then I've got some great ways that I can help you with. So first of all, I have my 2025 astrology readings. Now, if you haven't got this message yet, 2025 is not just another year. It's really a big year for astrology. And if you're really wanting to lean into working with these energies and really feeling prepared for 2025, that's where I can help you, because really understanding how things play out for you can help you prepare for major shifts, can help you harness this once in a lifetime energy. It can identify great times where you might want to get powerful insights, and maybe when you need to just stop for a little bit. You can also gain an understanding of long-term themes that might be at play, and just really understanding where breakthroughs might be happening for you and upgrades, and once you know this energy is happening, you can really harness it so that you can have a really great year. So the first offer is my 2025 astrology reports and readings. So I create a report for you where I look at, it's a 20 plus page astrology report that is personalized to you and your birth chart. I give you so many dates. I explore the Time Lord with you, as we talked about. I share with you what your Time Lord is and what the key dates are in relation to that. I talk about different life themes that you're going to be going through, maybe new cycles for love and money if that's in your chart, potentially where you might face challenges and where you could call in abundance and good fortune in your life. So the 20-page report covers off all of that. And then we go into a 90-minute live reading where we do a one-on-one, a deep dive into the areas of your life that you might really be interested in exploring in 2025. And this is such a key part of this offer, because it really personalizes it to what you want. You might be looking at dates to help you with your career or your financial goals. You might be wanting to look deeper into your home and family life, or understand the energies of your health and wellness and how to best work with that energy. Or you might be wanting to look at love and relationships. All of those things we can explore in an interactive one-to-one Zoom where we go back and forth and really dive deeper into the particulars and the details of your own personal chart. So I think it's just so incredibly valuable. I never really offer these 90-minute live readings, but there is so much we can look at, especially when it comes to an entire year, that I've just found it so valuable with the clients that I have already worked with on this offer. If you're kind of just wanting to dip your toe in, you can just get the report, which is personalized to you. There is a bunch of dates that are specific that you can note down in your diary, really understand where these major planets are shifting, which areas of the chart they're shifting into. That is a great offer as well. Now, I also want to let you know that I am going to be working with some people one-on-one this year, because I am going to be opening up some coaching and mentorship spaces. So if that's something that you're interested in, reach out to me and I will share with you what I am doing in that space, because I really want to use this incredible tool as astrology to really help you step into the highest and best version of yourself, and use it as a tool for empowerment, to know what energies are coming at what time and really harness the energy. I do have other free resources. You can always get my podcasts, of course, and my horoscopes, where I give you a bit of an overview of the month. Go and check it out. You can find it linked in all my social media. But I just want to finish with this note, and that is that 2025 is really a big year of transformation, and 2026, I will say. And you get to decide how you step into it, in what energy, in what possibility. So I want to help you make this the year where you move with confidence, and you move with clarity, and you move in alignment with the energies that are supporting you through the astrology. So that is what I am here to do. I hope you have enjoyed this episode and you found it insightful. And if you are interested in any of those offers that I have available for you, come over to my website, find the links in the show notes, and let's connect and get started on a reading or started on a report for you. I would really love to help you during this year of incredible transformation. And until next time, keep shining bright. Thank you for joining me on this cosmic journey of self-discovery. If you have enjoyed this episode, please leave a review and share it with someone who you think would love it. Keep exploring the secrets of the stars, and remember, the universe has woven a unique story just for you. Until next time, keep shining bright.